Okay. All right. So I'm doing this video to talk with you about tax expenses and Sensi and just kind of how all of that works. So first things first, it's important to know that I'm not a tax professional. I don't have a license in tax or anything like that. I just know the general rules of what you need for Sensi when you are filing your taxes. And so I want to be sure that you guys all know that as well. And then you know some additional information about um, your taxes when you have to file them. So first things first with Sensi, you do have to make over $600 in a calendar year in order to even file your taxes. Otherwise, you won't get a 1099 form. The 1099 is telling you what you made throughout that whole year, but it's really important to know that no taxes are taken out of that. So when you file your taxes, you're going to be required to pay in or pay the taxes on that income that you received at tax time when you go file your taxes. So what you want to do is you want to keep track of everything that you spend on your business. That way you can have a general idea, or you can provide your tax professional with documents or anything that you need to have write-offs to save you some money in the long run. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you, first of all, a page on Facebook that you can join. That's US tax dollars and cents. So it's just everybody goes in here and shares their information, things that they've created uh, for tracking your taxes, your expenses, stuff like that. So here, let me share my screen. Okay, so the very first thing I recommend is joining this US tax dollars and cents group, because this is going to be a gold mine for you. If you have any questions about taxes, if you have, really anything. It's nice because there's a files tab in here that you can go and you can download certain like mileage trackers and stuff like that. So, or like the expenses, stuff along those lines. So if you would just click on this, it would download to your computer. And then you do want to enable the OneDrive in order to be able to edit it. So this is what it looks like when it's downloaded. I've already saved it and I'm enabling my clouds. That way I can edit this document and it saves to me, only me, not everybody that has access to this form. So with that being said, is you're going to have this nice little tracker that you can edit. Why is it still doing that? Let me see. Okay, so basically what you're able to do, okay, so now I can do it. I don't know what was being weird about it. So you can enter in like what your commissions are up here to track those. So like what you got each month. So like, let's say I got 500 in January, 200 in February, $1,000 in March or whatever. It's going to total that up for you. So right now, it's going to do like the total net gain / loss. So there is, if you click on it, it does tell you information about it. So like with this, if there's any red in the corner, if you highlight over that, it's going to tell you exactly what it is. And so again, you'll keep track of what you got paid that month. So like we're coming up on January of 2022, we'll get our commissions in about 5 days or so. And then I would enter in what I made right in here to start my 2022 year. So then you just do that for the whole year. Every month you come in here. It's nice as well because you can calculate what you spent also in regards to your business to use those as a tax write-off. So first and foremost, there is a yearly tracker, which is what you'll need for taxes. You really don't need to break it up monthly, but it is good for you to have it monthly. So that way you can make sure you're staying organized and not trying to go back at the end of the year and figure everything out and make sure you don't miss anything. So there is months here individually to where you can put in what it is that you spent. So like, let's say last January 6th of 21, I went and I don't know, I bought business cards, for example, and I spent $20 on business cards. So this would be more like advertising. So then it auto populates it into here. And then if you go back here, it should feed it over here. So it'll, or you can just go in actually, I think at the end of the year and just plug it in if you want to. Or if you just want to use this, like you can put in here, I spent $20 this month, I spent $50 this month, I spent $75 this month, you know, so on and so forth. And then it calculates this for you. And then it also adds it in up here as well. So that way, you know what it is that you spent on your business. And it's also good for you as well, because you don't want to spend more than you make. Like nobody ever wants to do that, right? Like you're in this to make money. So this will help you keep track to make sure you're not spending more than you're making over the course of the year. And if you are, then you can see that maybe there's something that needs to change. You can also track your mileage as well with this tracker here. The purpose of tracking the mileage is because you get a certain amount per mile that you go for your business. So you'll put in here, like, you know, what the start of the mileage is at the very beginning of the year. So like, let's see, 95,629. And then at the end of the year, your mileage is 90, no, see 105,263. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers in there, obviously. And then you can go in here and put what you went each like each time, basically every time that you travel for your business, whether it be delivering orders, going up to the post office, even though it's like 2 blocks still. If it's for like an event, like let's say like I've drove from Iowa to Nashville in my own vehicle. So then that's a tax write-off. All the mileage that I went is considered a tax write-off. So keeping track of that is really good. And here you would just put in here, like, I'll just do, put in some random numbers. And then it'll calculate that for you. And then it'll tell you, you know, it'll just keep track of it basically. And you can do up to, you know, you have as many cars as you have, you know, just keep track of each car individually if you are using more than one car. And then when that's all said and done, if you come back here, the mileage is tracked right here for you. It calculates it. So your mileage expense is $349.44 basically. So it keeps track of all that for you. And yeah, I think that's it. It looks like on the yearly one, it feeds over to the monthly one actually. And this also feeds over too, so you can see. That's being weird for me still. I don't know why it's not letting me edit every page. I'll have to play with it, but yeah. So you'd want to download like an editable version of this to where you can make changes on it. But this is a really good resource to have for the year tracking, basically. And yeah, there is an instructions sheet as well that walks you through what it is that you need to do and explains all the different tabs that are down at the bottom as well. So this is really great to have again. And then you also want to join this group right here, then you can download this file and you can also ask any questions, you know, follow along with what people are talking about, all of that stuff. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Again, I'm not a tax professional by any means. But I've done my taxes and I know the general rule of what you need. But if you have any more like in-depth questions, I would ask like whoever files your taxes for you, ask your tax professional. But yeah, that time of the year is coming up. So definitely I would say if you didn't do it last year, definitely start the tracking this year. So that way you can keep a good eye and a good track on what it is that you spent throughout the year. So you make sure that you're getting all the money back that you possibly can. Because the last thing anybody wants to do is lose out on money for not tracking that sort of information. So yeah, again, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them the best that I can. And then again, I'll share this in our groups. That way you guys have this link as well. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions.